Welcome back to Trans Deeper, a show where we take a deeper look at what people are saying in the trans conversation and whether their claims are valid or not. Today, I'm going to take another look at the what is a woman question. Honestly, I'm sick and tired of this so-called debate, but given that some people believe it is important enough to keep it going, there is something else I must say on this topic. Previously, I offered my view that an archetypal definition of the words man and woman are closest to the long-standing historical usage, and I gave an analysis to back this up. It was well received by many people, and it also generated some controversy as expected. This time, I am going to look at this topic from a different angle, the fact that there seems to be a culture war politics-driven campaign to manufacture division on this topic, and why this is actually very anti-science. Let's consider this fact. Apart from perhaps the true believers of queer theory, for the rest of us, there is in fact very good agreement on the classification of woman or man. Observers, regardless of cultural background, political affiliation, or generation, can clearly come to a consensus on whether particular individuals fit the words woman or man 98% or more of the time. The overall level of agreement here across the population is in fact very high by the standards of biological science, where 100% agreement is generally not the norm. The level of agreement here is actually higher than for the diagnosis of many serious illnesses, for example. As I said last time, the only truly significant disagreements regarding the classification of both sex and gender are in the borderline cases, mostly individuals who are intersex and trans, who represent about 1% of the population at most, according to various estimates. All the recent culture war panic about definitions is basically referring to no more than this very small area of disagreement. Honestly, those pushing this culture war panic remind me of the people who said that legalizing gay marriage would radically change the definition of marriage and lead to the downfall of family values. Years after the vast majority of Western countries legalized gay marriage, this, of course, has not happened. I believe there is actually a lesson to be learned there about emotional manipulation for political purposes. On the other hand, I do acknowledge that there are some real differences in opinion here, and it is something that we have to deal with. Given that what we are talking about is a matter of biological science, I believe we should defer to the scientific way rather than the political way to deal with our differences here. In science, having differences of opinion among the experts is part of normal life. There might be heated debates, and sometimes people might just have to agree to disagree, at least for now. After all, if scientific matters were always comfortably settled, there would be no room for improving our understanding, no room for scientific progress, and no point to science at all. Taking comfort in the certainty of one's position is the attitude of the culture warrior, not the attitude of the good scientist, and I intend for this criticism to apply to all sides of the debate. Anyone who knows something about the history of science would know that things can eventually turn out in a number of ways. In some cases, groundbreaking discoveries lead to a firm consensus eventually forming. It is often the ongoing debates that lead to the discoveries that in turn lead to the new consensus. In other cases, the disagreement drags on for generations. However, the ongoing debates can still lead us to a better understanding of the topic over time. For this process to play out in a productive and objective way, the most important thing is that everyone gets to fairly examine the topic and apply their independent thinking without pressure from any side, and that we remain open-minded to all possibilities. This is why we need to resist the politicization and polarization that the culture warriors are pushing us into right now. That's all for today. I'll be back next time to discuss another big idea. Remember, on this show, the personalities don't matter. It's the ideas that matter. Until next time, remember to resist conformity and stay positive. Our future depends on it.